The smell hit me before the door was even fully open: garlic, butter, the particular sweetness of the sauce Nora begs me to make on Sundays. Except it was Tuesday. And I hadn't cooked anything. My keys were still in my hand, cold from the October air, and for 3 full seconds I just stood there in my own doorway, breathing in a dinner I didn't remember starting. "Nora?" My voice came out lighter than I felt, almost playful. Ex-wives do that sometimes. Tessa used to drop her off early just to watch my face light up. I told myself that's what this was. A surprise. I hung my coat on the hook like it was any other night, like my chest wasn't already tightening in a way I couldn't explain. No answer. Just the low bubble of a pot on the stove, steam fogging the window above the sink. That's when I saw the note. Not Tessa's looping cursive. Not Nora's careful 8-year-old print. A single line, slanted and hurried, took care of things. G. Grady. My neighbor. The retired contractor who waves at me every morning while watering plants that never seem to grow. I felt something cold slide down the back of my neck, because as far as I knew, Grady Holloway did not have a key to my house. I would have remembered giving him one. Wouldn't I? If you've ever come home to something that almost made sense, hit subscribe, because you already know this feeling doesn't end where you think it does. I moved through the kitchen like the floor might give out beneath me, calling Nora's name louder now, checking the hallway, the stairs, my own heartbeat suddenly very loud in my ears. And that's when I saw him, Grady, standing perfectly still on my back porch, hands in his jacket pockets, watching my kitchen window like he'd been there a while. Like he'd been waiting for me to notice him instead of knocking. I want to tell you I confronted him right away. The truth is, I hesitated with my hand on the doorknob, because something else was clawing at the back of my mind, a fog I'd been fighting for months now. Missed pickups. Losing entire afternoons. Waking up in my car outside places I didn't remember driving to. Since the divorce, my own memory had become a thing I no longer fully trusted. So when I finally opened that door, part of me wasn't afraid of Grady. Part of me was afraid of what I might have done, or said, or forgotten, that put him there in the first place. "You called me, Marcus," he said, before I could even ask. Calm. Almost gentle. Around 6. "You didn't sound right. Said you needed someone to check on Nora." I had no memory of that call. None. And the way he said it, like he was doing me a favor, like he had every right to be standing in my backyard in the dark, made something in me go very still and very cold. Here's where I need you to sit with me for a second. If a man you barely trusted told you that you'd called him, begged him, and you had zero memory of it, would you believe him? Or would you start to wonder what else he might be lying about? Because the next thing out of his mouth wasn't concern. It was confession, dressed up as one. He told me, almost proud of himself, that he'd been the one talking to Tessa for weeks. Telling her about my episodes. Feeding her exactly the kind of details a family lawyer would love to hear in a custody hearing. He said he did it because he cared about Nora. I heard something else entirely, a man who'd found a hairline crack in my life and had been quietly widening it. My hands were shaking. I don't remember deciding to raise my voice, only that I was already doing it, already stepping toward him, already feeling 7 months of exhaustion and fear curdle into something sharper, when I heard it. Laughter. Upstairs. Nora's laughter, unmistakable, bright, alive. I took the stairs 2 at a time and found her in her room, sleeping bag spread across the floor, her best friend Ivy beside her, both of them giggling at something on a tablet. Tessa had dropped her off early for a planned sleepover, something I'd apparently agreed to during a call I still don't fully remember having, a call where, Grady later admitted, I hadn't sounded confused at all. Just tired. Just a father running on fumes, doing his best to keep every plate spinning. Standing in that doorway, watching my daughter safe and warm and completely unaware of the storm I just built in my own head, I understood something that scared me more than any note or any shadow on my porch ever could. The real danger that night wasn't Grady's meddling, and it wasn't even the gaps in my memory. It was how fast I let fear write an entire story for me, cast a man as a villain, and nearly missed the truth standing 2 feet away, laughing at cartoons. I still don't fully trust Grady. Maybe I never will. But I've stopped trusting the version of the night my fear tried to hand me first. If you've ever built a nightmare out of nothing but silence and a bad feeling, I want to hear about it. Comment the word stillness below if you know exactly what that fog feels like, and I'll see you in the next one.